Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play podcast, your daily dose of strategies, insights, and action steps to grow your business and build your freedom. It's time to stop playing small and start making power plays.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. You know what day it is over here at the Profitpreneur. This is Tech Friday. So very excited for today. Now, here's the thing. Most entrepreneurs overthink this very thing, their website and their funnels. I'm one of those folks. And because of that, they stay stuck, confused, or building the wrong thing altogether. Today's guest is here to simplify it all. Excited. And this person that I'm talking about is Sonny Walton. He is founder and CEO of Profit Sites. He's co-founder of Profitpreneur. He has studied FINRA Series 3 and Series 34, which is a great combination with the tech, because when you can make money using tech and you know what to do with that money, that's the way to go. And that is why we teach these things inside the Profitpreneur. Anyway, he is also a Google Ads and analytics expert. He is the tech mind behind some of the smoothest, highest performing systems in the online space. He's fluent with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Facebook ads, and he's mastered every major platform: Go High Level, ClickFunnels, Kartra, Kajabi, WordPress, and more. And in today's episode, he's giving you a website and funnel builder walkthrough so you can finally see how simple it is to build the tools that actually bring in the sales. So without further ado, let me bring him out. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, cool. I'm headed out.
Hello. Good morning. Happy day after Thanksgiving. Happy day after Turkey Day. Hope you guys enjoyed your family and your food and your day. All right. So yeah, I thought I'd give a quick walkthrough. I know it is the holiday, so I definitely won't keep you guys long. So let me get into my demo account here, and then I will share my screen. So I'm just going to give a quick walkthrough for websites and funnels. It's not going to be too detailed. Just kind of a quick idea of at least what you can do. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Let's see. This screen. All right. So, I will start out. So with Profit Sites, what you have funnels. Let me move this over here. Actually, hold on. So I'm not looking over here to the left all the time. Share this screen. Drop this over here. This is what you do when you got two screens, y'all. Okay, now let's do this. Boom. All right, there we go. Okay, so with Profit Sites, you have funnels, you have websites, you have stores. Funnels and websites are pretty much they function in the same way, just that when you're doing funnels, it's going to show up a bit different. So this is a quick template that I pulled up. So I'm just going to click on that. So when you're doing funnels, I feel like I'm far from the mic. When you're doing funnels, you're going to see it look like this, right? It's going to have your steps here. First step, second step, third, fourth, so on and so forth. So you see this button, it just says add new step or import. And so this funnel actually just came like this, landing page, thank you page. But you can add as many, I don't think it's a limit to the steps that you can add in the funnel. Of course, you're not going to go crazy. And so, adding a funnel step can be as simple as, choosing a template or just cloning a page that you already have. So you can just clone these steps and make them similar to each other, or you can just add a new step or import a step. So we're just going to say confirm, and then just going to be slash confirm, create. All right. And so you see it says create from blank or use existing. We can pull a page from an existing funnel or existing website. One thing, I have an existing website. Oh yeah, I do. I have this existing template called Muffler Shop. And so I can pull over a page from there if I wanted to. All right. And so we're just going to go into a page so you can kind of see how that looks. Like I said, the funnels and websites, once you start editing, it's pretty much the same. Okay. So let's just go into a page here. And let me see, look at the time. Okay. All right. So when it comes to building websites, you have several things going on here. So of course, on the left side, you're going to have these elements that you can add to the website. And this is all, of course, drag and drop. You just drag the element that you want to use into the into wherever you want it on the website. Just drag, drop it wherever that blue highlight is, and that's going to add that element. This is going to be a form. It's the only form I have. And so that's, that's how that works. Okay. So you have several layers. You have this big, if you can see my mouse, it highlights this section, and this green highlight comes around. And so when you see a green highlight, that's pretty much going to be a whole section. So over here on the left, you have these layers here, and they're going to have this hierarchy as to how they're displaying all the elements here on the page. And so you have page. This is the entire page, of course. Then you have sections. So when I put my mouse here, you can see that this highlighted blue, that means that that's the section I'm on. Okay. So I usually don't keep this part open unless I'm trying to find something that maybe I can't really get to at the moment because it's layered. And so if I click on, like I said, there's a hierarchy. So this is a green section. That's a section. When you highlight a blue section, you see that is a row inside the section. So if I expand that section, let's see, boom, and click that row, you can see that highlights blue. That means that's the row that I'm on. Inside rows, you can have columns inside rows. So when I click on elements, you can see this hierarchy here too. You have sections first. Then you have the row. You can add a row. That's the blue one. Then inside of rows, you can have these elements as the orange one. Okay. Inside the rows is where you're going to add all of these elements, and you can nest these inside of each other. So, for example, let's say I have this is my top row here. Let's say I want to make this into 2 columns. What I can do is I can just duplicate this, and I have 2. Of course, I don't have the same thing on both sides, so I can delete everything in here. Right, I can delete this stuff. Maybe I want to have the form over here, not here, so I'll delete it from here. Right, so now I have a form over here. Okay, now the form is going to take on with that whatever appearance attributes that you actually selected in the form. So if I would want to make this button red, I would need to go back into my form. So I can do edit form here. And I can edit this. I can edit the color of the button down here, right? I can select, red to match my website and save that. And in order for this to show back red on my web page, you just got to go back over to it, save it, and you see the button changes color. Now let's talk a bit about elements. So let's go down here. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to open my elements window here. So we can see we have a bunch of elements. We have text elements up here. You can see they're grouped by the type of element it is. So you have your text elements. We can add your headline, your sub headlines, your paragraphs, your bulleted lists, then you also have rich text. The rich text is a bit different from your regular text. Rich text is going to have different formats of text. Like as a matter of fact, I'll just show you. So when I put in rich text, that's going to give me some of these different types of text that I can use in here, and one of those includes a quote. Okay. Let's see. Open the Elements tab again. So we have buttons and forms. If we have set up a blog in our Profit Sites account, we can also add that. Add pieces of that as well, articles, social share elements, so that people can share these blog articles with folks, and things like that. You have your images, you have your videos. So this is your media section. You can do a logo showcase, FAQs. Let's see what they have at the bottom here. Yeah, let me just throw a FAQ in here so you can kind of see how that looks. I think how the FAQs kind of work is pretty cool because you can expand these elements here and include what you need to include in here. So you can have the question, have the answer here, and you can expand these with these arrows over here. And you can kind of give you kind of a few options of different looks that you want your FAQ section to have, and then you can customize this from here as well, like the colors, of course, and the edges and things like that. Okay. All right. We also have a code block. So sometimes I'll need to add custom code to my page. So I'll add this code element into there. So I can just copy and paste my code into there. You have your surveys. It's kind of the same thing as funnels, except that with surveys you're going to have multiple pages of questions. It's going to kind of ask one question at a time, or a group of questions at a time, however you build out the survey. Of course, you can add a calendar. You guys know there's a calendar element that is part of Profit Sites. So you can add in a booking calendar there. You have those maps. So if you have, like, I'll just kind of show you. It's a if you have to put in an address, and then that the map will show that address, right? So I can say something like Washington D.C., or I can put in an exact address and it'll take me there. I can do yes save, and it'll kind of show that address, and I can choose how zoomed in or how zoomed out this map is over here. Okay. All right. You got you can have stars for reviews. You can add SVG. SVG is a vector image. That's what this stands for. Something vector graphic. I forget what the S is for. But this is just a certain type of image file. You can do number counters. You can add QR codes in here. So Profit Sites does have a feature where you can create a coupon code that links to your website, or whatever website that you wanted to go to. You have pricing tables, right, with some pre-made settings here. So pricing tables like these, you guys are used to seeing these on websites. So you can have these kind of preset, at least, so that they show up like price tables, of course, and you change how you want these to actually look for your site, of course. Okay. You have dividers, so you can add in I'll just show you just kind of lines to kind of separate certain elements if you want to use that. Progress bars. So progress bars are pretty cool, especially when you're doing if you're doing funnels. I think you'll see progress bars in our funnels. So if a person's going through the steps to a funnel, you can kind of put this towards like the top, the top section of the page to let a person know how far they are in your funnel, right? And you can choose, of course, how this looks over here on the right. Just kind of show you some of the styling elements, and then we will kind of wrap it up. So when you're styling elements, you're going to have a lot of different options over here. So for this particular one, of course, every element is going to have their own options that you can choose from. So if I choose the progress bar, of course, I'm going to see this set of things to edit. But when I click on, let's say something like the form, you can see I don't have that option here because I have to actually go inside of the form itself to actually change the styling of it, the appearance of how it looks. Okay. Of course, when I click text, there's a different set of of uh, 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 appearance elements that you can have that you can edit. Now, of course, they're gonna all of them have gonna have the basic, size, color, things like that. But of course, when you're editing things like buttons or graphics and things, you're gonna have some other different options that aren't available with text. All right. Now, of course, you can have, backgrounds and whatever elements that you want. Now, of course, we want it to look, want to look nice, but just to kind of show you, you can have a background to, kind of anything you want, right? You can put a background there. You can have a border for that element. So if I open this border selection, I can choose how thick I want my border. So if you look here on the left, as a matter of fact, let me actually change the color so guys can see. So if I have a border, say my border is blue. Of course, I would never do that because this looks crazy, but just to kind of show you what you can do. So you see the blue border showed up here. You can change the border radius so at the edges, around the edges around it. So you see that kind of rounds off the edges there. And then kind of last thing I'll show is when you're dropping elements in. Let me just take this off because this is looking crazy. Boom, boom. So I can put my background back to transparent, and then I can also turn off my border, say no border, and we can go back to how it was before. Oops, what did I do? Background, there we go. And then so I'm going to take a element here. So I can take, so if I have, let's say I have this column here and I want to separate that column, I think I can do this because this is a fairly new feature. Yeah. If I have a column here and I want to separate that column into rows into its own rows, I can take this and put it right into this column. So now I have two different columns inside of another column. And so, I can take another element. And as a matter of fact, I will bring a new element. So I can add an element here. I can add some text. And then say maybe I want to add a button here. Right. And let's just change that text color to white so you guys can see it. Right. So this is what I mean when I say you can nest different elements inside of each other. And so you can see I have a row here that's two columns, but then inside of this column, I also have a 2-column row inside of here, row with 2 columns. Okay. Those are the general nuts and bolts. I kind of show you what's on this top menu. So over here, you have your pages that are part of either the website or funnel. So whether you're doing a website or a funnel, you'll see the pages that are part of that over here. So you can switch back and forth really easily. You have tracking codes, or you put in any Google tracking codes that you may have, with Facebook pixels. That's where those will go. Well, it's actually not where those will go. Those will go on the website tracking, and that's a bit different. I'll show you that in a second. You have your typography, your text that's generally going to be used for all of the text that's on this page, your heading text, and your regular paragraph content text. You can set those fonts right over here. And then when you're editing, that's going to be the default setting. So right now I have this set as a custom font, but I can see I have my typography, Montserrat and Lato. So if I do headline font right over here, You said it says Poppins. That means that's because I chose a custom font. But if I do headline font, that's going to go away and it's going to actually change to the one that I have set over here. Okay. You have the background image or color of your page. You can set that here. You have pop-ups. You can add pop-ups to this page. And so you can link buttons with pop-ups. I don't have anything in this one yet, but you can link buttons like this to open. You see, it says open pop-up. So that means that if a person clicks this button, it's going to open a pop-up. And of course, this button can go to a website URL. It can download a file. It can do a bunch of things when people click this button. You have your page metadata that you can kind of see a description of the page if it comes up on Google. You have your custom codes here, cookie consent bar. And this is where I don't really use much, but this just kind of gives you an option to have these windows, option windows sort of hover over top of the page or show up on the side of the page. So it just kind of, shows you how that looks. That goes over the page if I select that. And then this other one just shows up on the side of the page. So it just pushes the page over, just a personal preference. And then last and not least, before we get out of here, I'm just going to show you some of the website options here. So this is my overall website. And so if I go over here to settings, you see I can name the website, so I can call the website whatever I'm going to call it here. This is going to be the main path of the website or funnel. You're going to select the domain that you want to use with this. So that, of course, only happens when you have a domain hooked up into the website. So you'll be able to select from the domains that you have in here. Your favicon, the little logo that shows up on the top. We are. Hey, no, you're on, right?
Oh, nope. Bye.
Well, I'm almost done. You have your head tracking code. You have your payment mode. So if you have a checkout form on here, you're going to be able to set that form to be live, or you can turn it to test mode so that live credit cards aren't be taken in case you're still testing to make sure everything is functioning correctly. I definitely use this a lot. Image optimization, whether you want the website to compress your images or to have them be full resolution. Drawbacks is that it's going to take a bit longer for your page to load if you have don't have this checked. Okay, if you do have it checked, your images are going to show up a bit less resolution, but it's going to load fast. So that's a trade-off. You can have the option to require credit cards on $0 purchase. So sometimes if you have something that's free, it's either going to say, you don't need your credit card since you're not going to pay anything, or even though you're not paying anything, require a credit card. You can select this option to turn that off and on. Switch back and forth between those. And yeah, that is the basics of websites and funnels.
Cool. Okay, now I mean to be on. I don't know what happened. All right.
I thought you was doing the you remember how the Apollo show where he used to bring out the Candyman and take Thomas up and shoot him off stage? Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was just sitting there. I don't know what I clicked to put myself back on there. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for that, because I have this is right on time. I've actually been thinking about understanding how my website works. So anytime there's something small that needs a little adjustment, that I could just go in and do it. So just you showing how where stuff is and what you can do, if you just kind of play around with it a little bit, that helps a lot. All right, you guys. So like we said, not going to keep you too long. We know this is a holiday weekend, so let's wrap it up. So here's the truth. Your website and your funnels don't have to be complicated to be effective. And when you understand the basics and follow a simple structure and use tools the right way, you'll stop getting stuck and you start getting results. Inside of our Profitpreneur membership, which you can get a 14-day trial for, will help you build systems that work, funnels that convert, and websites that support your business instead of slowing you down. So go ahead, start that free trial. Is it free? I don't even know if it's free anymore. It's not free anymore. Y'all missed the pre-launch. So start your 14-day trial. It's only $7. That's like what, 50 cents a day. So it's a piece of cake to do. And this is the key. Once you understand how this stuff works, right? And it doesn't take much. It just takes a little bit of focus. Once you understand how it works, you can start building anything that you need to, and you can do it with confidence. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you back here again next week. Bye, guys.